Who remembers their childhood? One of my favorite meals was when Mom would make Salisbury steak with mashed potatoes and green beans. Well, today we are going to combine all those beautiful tasting things and make a dish that is going to be perfect for freeze drying and also perfect for eating just fresh. And I'm going to be making two 9x13 casseroles from this. So if you only wanted to make one, then you would cut the recipe in half. What we're going to start off with is, this is going to be easy, very easy, almost a dump and go. We're going to start off with, I got 2.5 pounds, 2.5 pounds of ground beef that we're going to brown up. I got 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup, condensed, 2 cans of French onion soup, and this is condensed as well, 2 cans of mushrooms, pieces and stems. I got those because they were cheap. And you could use fresh mushrooms if you wanted. And these cans are 14.1 ounces or 8 ounces drained of mushrooms. Now I got 4 cans of French style cut green beans, and we chose the French style because we are freeze drying this, and I just think the French style, which are a thinly cut green bean, will rehydrate much better than a whole green bean. That's the theory anyway, so that's my thinking of why I went French cut. Like I said, I got 4 cans. I'm not sure I'm going to use 4 cans, but to start out with, we'll say 4 cans. Now, I'm being lazy today, and plus these were on sale, so rather than make my own mashed potatoes, I went and bought some Bob Evans family size, which is 2 pounds, 32 ounces or 2 pounds of mashed potatoes already made. These were on sale for $3.99. So for all the hassle it would take to make the mashed potatoes, I mean, Bob Evans makes some great mashed potatoes. They didn't have the regular mashed potatoes, just plain, so they had sour cream and chives. So I got the sour cream and chives. 2 containers of that. And 2 envelopes of Lipton's onion soup mix. 2 little pouches of those. All right, so let's get my ground beef browning. We'll get this browned up and I'll be right back. Okay, so here's my ground beef. I did salt and pepper that to taste when I was frying that up. So we're just going to divide this in half and put half in each 9x13 casserole dish. I did drain this a little bit, basically with my slotted spoon, as I transferred it to the bowl here. Alright. That's about evenly distributed between the two. Now we're going to take 1 can of cream of mushroom soup and add it to the 9x13. So we'll use a total of 2 cans, since we're doing 2 bags. As simple as that. Then we'll add 1 can of French onion soup to each dish. Pour that in there. And pour that one in the other one. Alright. And 1 can of mushroom in each dish. Sliced mushrooms. Alright. We'll give that a good stir. Alright, we're getting there. Now we're going to take 1 envelope of Lipton soup powder mix and add it to each casserole dish, so that's a total of 2 pouches. And I think that Salisbury steak isn't Salisbury steak with Worcestershire sauce. So that's just my opinion. So we're going to put about a tablespoon of W sauce in each dish. Let's get that mixed up. Oh yeah, that's looking good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 1 can of the French cut green beans to each dish, and we'll see if that's enough for me. I'm just going to add that as a layer on the top. And I think that that is enough beans, so we won't be using the other 2. So we used a total of 2 cans of green beans. Now I'm going to heat these potatoes up in the microwave according to the directions. And while I'm doing that, my oven is preheating to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Alright, that's one of them done. I got the other one in the microwave. You can probably hear it. Now we're just going to take this being careful because it's very, very hot, and spread it over our casserole. Just like that. Alright, that's all ready for the oven. Like I say, I preheated the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to pop this in the oven for about 20-30 minutes so everything's nice and hot. At this stage, you could sprinkle some cheese on the top of that just to make it look pretty, but we're going to stick traditional because Salisbury steak normally doesn't have cheese. So we're going to stick traditional and not put the cheese on the top, but that is a topping you might want to think about, is sprinkling some cheddar on the top of there before you bake it and get that melted on the top. So I will see you in 20 to 30 minutes. We just want that to get nice and hot. See you then. Alright, there they are, both out of the oven. I cooked those about 25 minutes, but it's bubbling around the edges, so I know that it's nice and hot. And I'm going to let this cool down, and then we'll get it trayed up for my freeze dryer, and then whatever's left over is going to be dinner for tonight. And hopefully a little bit longer than tonight. Okay, so we'll let this cool down, and I'll be right back. Alright, it's still kind of hot, but we'll go ahead and get it trayed up. So I have a medium Harvest Right freeze dryer with the 4 slots. So the recommendation is 10 pounds per load. So that's 2.5 pounds per tray for me. So I am going to load these trays up. Oh gosh, that looks so good. For 10 pounds. Or 2.5 pounds per tray. And I divide these into 10 squares, which with 3 trays will give me a total of 10 meals. 3 squares per meal. Alright, so let me get this done off camera and I'll be right back. Alright, so I got that all loaded up. 3 trays, 2.5 pounds each. And I ended up with about half of a 9x13 with leftovers. Great for me. And we'll let these cool down completely and get these into the freezer, get them frozen solid. Once they're frozen solid, we'll fire up the freeze dryer, get them in the freeze dryer with 1 more slot filled with something else, and we'll see you when that comes out of the freeze dryer. But let's dig into this and just see how good it tastes. Smells gorgeous. Oh man, that is delicious. You get that beautiful Salisbury steak, beefy, onion, mushroomy flavor, gravy, topped with those mashed potatoes. Sour cream and chive mashed potatoes go very well with this. You guys are going to love this, whether you have it fresh or whether you have it freeze-dried. So, let me press on with eating this for my lunch. We'll let that finish cooling down, get that frozen, and I'll see you when it comes out of the freeze dryer. All right, there's my 40-hour run through the freeze dryer. My Salisbury steak casserole is nice and dry. I really enjoyed the fresh version of this, so let's get this packaged up, and we'll reconstitute one meal and see what it's like freeze-dried. 3 squares per pouch. I give it a little crumble just so we can seal the bag a little bit easier. Well, let me get this off done and I'll be right back. All right, got those in the bag. Let's go ahead and open up our 300cc O2 absorbers. We'll pop one in each bag and go ahead and zip it shut. All right, let me get these done. I'll be right back. All right, you're ready to heat these up, seal them, heat seal them. Won't take a second. I'll be right back. Perfecto. And off. Unplug it. Let that cool down. We'll leave these sitting out for a day or so just to make sure everything's sealed up nice and tight. Then we'll put it away for long-term storage. Now, it's a couple hours away from my dinner, so I'll be back in a couple hours because we're going to have this today for dinner. I'm looking forward to it. The stomach wants it right now, but I got some trays to wash up, and it's about a couple more hours, so I'll see you for dinner. All right, are we ready for my Salisbury steak bowl? I'm going to call it a Salisbury steak bowl. I'm hungry, I know that. So let's get this open. All right, O2 absorber, and we put 3 squares in there, so we're going to put 3/4 of a cup of water. Hopefully my mashed potatoes won't be too watered down. All right, get that zipped up. I didn't stir that the first time here because I want to try and maintain some integrity there. So let's let that sit for 3 minutes, or 2 minutes, and we'll be right back. All right, that's my first 2 minutes done. Let's give that a stir. Get that shut again. And we'll wait 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. I'll see you in 2 minutes. All right, there we go. Give her one more stir. Get it dished out. Now, it don't come out the prettiest looking like it is in the casserole dish with layers. But let's see what the taste is. That's what's important. Oh man. Oh yeah. That is so full of flavor. The mushrooms have come back beautifully. They still got that kind of crunchy texture that a mushroom does. And the ground beef, as always, comes back beautifully. You guys are gonna love this, flavor-wise. This has got everything that you would imagine with your Salisbury steak dinner. Mashed potatoes, green beans, Salisbury steak with mushrooms, that beautiful onion gravy. Oh man, this is just delicious. Wow. What can I say about that one? This is definitely a winner. Very easy to throw together. And a beautiful meal that you get out of it for long-term storage. Well, I'm going to enjoy this. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, movie star here, John and Bibbs, movie star. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for watching.